So, you want to make a cheesesteak? Well, I'll show you my way of doing it. It's pretty similar to D'Alessandro's south side of Philly, except I add a couple extra things. Alrighty, I got my chopped onions, green peppers, and mushrooms because this is the way I like it. A lot of people like just onions, some people like onions and peppers, and some people like me like all three. Yeah, do it the way you like it. We've got a little over a pound of shaved ribeye. I shaved on my meat slicer a couple of days ago. Got some sharp white American. You can use provolone, or if you want to do Cheez Whiz, you can do Cheez Whiz. I'm not a fan of Cheez Whiz personally. I like the sharp American. You can buy the Cooper Sharp if you're rich and you got the extra money. I just buy the regular sharp American from the deli. And we get the peppers and onions in first. I'm using a non-stick pan because it makes cleanup a whole lot easier if you're making cheesesteak properly. So get these in there with a little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic. And get them softened up. After they start softening, add the onions because the onions cook a lot quicker. Make sure your veggies get a good sizzle and get decently seasoned because the water from the veggies will dilute a lot of the seasoning on them. I just use this is my Rockin' Pork Star SPG. It's just salt, pepper, and garlic. Now we're going to toss the onions in and get those softening up also. Onions are in. Now get those stirred up with the rest of the veg. Make sure you have enough oil in here. Oil helps to protect the non-stick. Now don't turn your veg to mush. You want to get it slightly translucent, but you still want to have a little bit of texture to it because it's going to cook with the meat also. Once you get a little color on your mushrooms, that's about when your veg are done. And you want to move them to a bowl and get the meat ready to cook. And you can see how much all that veg shrunk up after cooking. And it all fits now in a little bowl. Now, most cheesesteak places you'll see will put the meat right onto the griddle and then they'll chop it up or tear it apart. I'm going to pre-chop mine because I don't want to destroy my non-stick, and it just makes it easier and quicker to cook this way. And the meat's been chopped a little bit and it's in the pan. We're going to start cooking. Get it seasoned with salt, pepper, and garlic and start cooking it up. You want to get it to about 3/4 done before you add the vegetables. And got a couple of Amoroso rolls. The proper roll to use on a Philly, from Philly. Get your rolls over the pan while the meat is cooking. And this will get you some really good steamage going on, and you definitely want your rolls steamed. Meat is just about ready. This is when you cut your vegetables in, get everything mixed up. Once you got everything all mixed in together and it's just about ready, you want to start adding your cheese. We're going to do about 8 slices, maybe 10 of sharp white American. Now turn your heat down, and you want this cheese to slowly melt into the meat. And once it starts melting in, right before you fill the rolls, You're going to want to chop it in and get the meat and the cheese mixed together. That's what makes a cheesesteak, is the cheese running all through the meat, all through the sandwich. As you can see, even with the heat down, this starts happening very quickly. The cheese starts melting into the meat. Alright, this right here is the time where you turn the heat off. And as soon as these last little squares start melting in, that's when you start mixing the meat in and then putting it onto the sub buns. And that's what you get once it's all mixed up. Now you want to slowly move it to the buns. And you're going to want to let this cool for a little bit because it's going to be hot as lava. That, my friends, is a money cheesesteak. Big, about 14 inches long. We're going to cut it into two. That, my friends, is a pair of money cheesesteaks. Both about probably 3/4 of a pound of meat and fixings in each one, and they're definitely ready to go. Yeah, that's enough to feed about 3 people.